Oh, there we go.
There
Yeah,
he is.
we're live.
There's the man. How you doing?
Yeah, just changed my socks. Feel like a whole new person. I know it's risky move.
Now, was that a fashion move because you're feeling a different mood, or are they absolutely ruined?
They. I mean, they smell bad.
That was a horrible pause. That pause told me a lot.
Yeah, they didn't smell great, but then it's kind of like, changing my socks is not improving my overall fragrance. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
If you can cure, what are we, 12 hours in? If you can cure 12 hours of walking side effects by a change of socks, then you're a better man than me.
Yeah, I think it's improved the feet condition. Like whether it's a lasting effect or whether it's just a nice fresh feeling. Do you know that like when you get a new set of socks and like every morning is a treat because it's new socks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fresh, straight out of a packet, never been worn, never been washed. It's like flipping the pillow onto the cold side of the pillow.
Oh,
very refreshing.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I mean, it looks like it's still roasting there. I mean, I was expecting it's 6 o'clock. I was thinking, it might not be looking quite so good, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's still there. The thing that tries to kill me.
Yes. Yeah, have you been baking
very much
today? Is it? I mean, I don't mean have you been baking like Bake Off style. I mean that's.
Hey, I just had a sausage roll. I just had 2 sausage rolls. So I didn't bake them myself, but I very much ate them myself.
I was wondering how you're going to be sustaining yourself with this epic walk. I mean, I know that you've got to take on calories, and I think an event like this puts you squarely in the athlete category, right? It's an endurance athletic endeavor. So I'm glad to hear.
That's what they say about me, Phil. It's always Jake the athlete. It's always in the same sentence.
I know everyone. It's unwritten. It's the undertone always. But I'm glad you're eating sausage rolls and not those kind of. What are the things that cyclists have that are those kind of sweet gel pack things that look like sweetened Vaseline? That's like, squirt it into your mouth and that'll keep me going for another 12 hours.
I don't want a snack that I have to secrete into my own mouth, right? That's the rule.
That's fair. I love that you're sticking by that principle after all these years.
The sausage roll was chomped,
So that's again, you chomped them.
Yeah, chomped the sausage roll. So it was not secreted into my mouth. Whereas like those gel packs are very much.
Now I've got, before we get to the ask you anything question, I've got a question of my own. Talk to me about friction. Where are we friction wise around your body? Because you've been trundling along for a while. Are there any rubbings or weeping sores?
Robbie Williams. Yeah, it's like, do you know what? It's fine. I'm doing okay. The change of socks was down to a little bit of foot friction, but I would say, I mean, let's not mess around. I'm gonna, the area of the body known as the scrutix are doing fine. Like they're.
Okay, that's all I was worried about. I was worried about scrutix friction, and I want to make sure everything's intact.
Yeah, I've got enough anti-chafing cream to remove all of the friction from my body, which, like, once I get to the top of the final hill of the walk, I'm just going to cut myself in it and go on surfing.
Yeah. I think
all the way down, like Sonic the Hedgehog would.
I've got are you up for a very, very short quiz of one question?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. I'm going to read you some numbers, and I want you to tell me what the link is between them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you might not be in the best frame of mind for this, but I think it's important anyway. 9:17, 9:27, 9:43, 9:42, 9:59. Do those mean anything to you?
Give me those again.
9:17, 9:27, 9:40. Oh, I gave you them in the wrong order. I'm sorry, this is going to mess you up. So 9:17, 9:27, 9:42, 9:43, 9:59.
So then they're not even just all ascending or descending, or are they?
I mean, they are in ascending order, although I chuffed it up the first time around.
Give me a fighting chance. Nine. The mate, I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
I have
These are all
zero.
trains that leave London and go to Brighton. They are, and within the first. And I just wondered if you knew about them, because I just think you could have had a much easier day today.
Yeah, you're not joking. You're not joking. Do you know what? I didn't even realise trains have numbers anymore. Like I thought that was still very much the bus thing.
Oh, I mean, I'm giving you. Sorry, those are the times of the trains. I don't know if they're
the times of the trains. Oh, that I would have. Oh, yes. God, that would have been much easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know. Maybe see. This is why I'm telling you this, because if you'd bothered to put me much earlier in your schedule today, then it could have maybe not been too late. But as it is, I mean, it's easier just to keep going, I think, at this point.
I passed some train tracks like in the last hour as well. Like, I mean, it would have been a grab it as it passes moment. Which
I mean, they used to
I
do it
don't
with
think
the mail, didn't they? That's how they did it. Didn't they just pick up the post that way?
Exactly. But yeah, it does seem like silly. I think I said this in an earlier video, but this walk is either going to pass close to the town I live in, or pass through the town and very close to my house. Like,
and where are you on that path at the moment? Is that still ahead of you, or is that?
No, that's the head. Like it'll be heading towards the end when we get to the house. I've not passed Gatwick yet. I think that the next 10K I'm at Crawley, which is basically Gatwick.
Yeah, you're doing well then. You're making progress.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a long time. We're not at the halfway mark yet. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how's your confidence been? Because I know you've been training really hard for this, and you've been. It's not like you woke up this morning and thought you'd give it a go. So how's your confidence been in getting to the end, and how are you feeling now?
I started low because I was worried about my knee. That's stopped being a problem. I'm worried a bit about my ankles. Like every time I do a downhill, it's bad. Right. But I've got some walking poles for the big downhills. I know there's a couple of big uphills, unfortunately, towards the very end. Yeah. And I'm less worried about the uphills, but with an uphill comes a downhill, right? It's downhill into Brighton at the end. So that's going to be the killer.
That's going to be killer. I must admit, I find walking downhill quite challenging. I mean, it hurts my knees because
Phil, we're both getting old.
I know. I was trying to dance around that a little bit, but yeah, it's I can't get out of a chair without going, ooh. So,
yeah.
So yeah, no, I feel you. Would you like your question? That I've selected from the list?
Let's do it.
So this comes from David Alberto Adler. He submitted a few questions, and his question was, and I think we'll adapt it a tiny bit, but he said, list your top 5 tech talks of all time. But let's adapt it a tiny bit and say, are there any talks that you've seen at events that really stand out as the ones that you showed people and say, you got to see that, or you really loved?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it feels like so long since we've been at conferences. So I'm going to lean on you a little bit there was one at the London Jamstack conference, and I'm sorry to the guy whose name I've completely forgotten, but it was the guy who showed off the Code Sandbox stuff. Oh,
Yves Van Hoorn.
Yes. That was incredible, because it was incredible to see how that tool was built. And as a talk, I guess it's pretty straightforward. It's like, here's the thing, here's how I built it. But just the amount of stuff that went into it and the amount he squeezed into that talk, was incredible.
That's a great
one that I always use as an example of a really good conference talk, or certainly one that appealed to me. There was Martin Splitt and Kravitz did a talk at a Smashing Conf in London. I believe you were there as well. You were speaking there as well. And they did this thing where they were talking about mixed blend mode in CSS, or the way they split the work, which I thought was really good, because I find it really difficult to do talks with someone else, because I think it's really hard to split to divide the effort. But the way they did it is, would talk about the mixed blend mode, show it working, show the kind of effects that you can do with it, and then Martin Splitt would dive into WebGL and show how that is implemented.
Yes.
And as someone who has just like a vague knowledge of WebGL, like really, like as in I kind of know what it's for.
Yeah.
Like I know it's not just for 3D stuff. I kind of know what the shaded languages are for, but my knowledge really just stops there. To see that, I felt like not only did I learn about what the mixed blend modes did, I learned a lot about some of the underlying principles of WebGL. I absolutely love that one.
Yeah, I remember that actually. I remember being blown away by how, first of all, they're so infectious. Their enthusiasm is really infectious. So you're all immediately kind of at ease and thinking, okay, this is going to be pleasant and fun, and you've got confidence in them. But yeah, seeing something being used and then the details behind the scenes, it just gave it so much more depth. I think that's another excellent choice. Yeah, good stuff.
So,
I mean,
what would you add to that then?
You didn't choose me.
Oh, it'd be terrible if we I picked one of your talks or I picked one of mine. Hey, do you know what? I've aced it. I've got the perfect talk now.
My top 5 talks are here are 5 of mine. Yeah.
And here's what I learned from myself.
Are you having a brief rest? I thought you might be panting as you're kind of striding along.
So I'm walking with other people.
Yeah.
And if I'm totally honest, the resting isn't working for me. Which is I'm sort of kind of walking on the spot.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
Just to sort of keep things flowing. But I don't want to. I mean, we already got lost once earlier on.
So I gather, yes.
I definitely, my sense of direction is poor, so I'm definitely going to stick with the group. I'm hoping we're setting off soon, but like one of the other people in our team has got some serious blister issues that are making me feel thankful that I don't.
Oh. Yeah, look
So
after those.
so she's getting her feet sorted in the first aid area, and then we'll be on our way.
Right.
To the halfway point. So go on. What talks are you thinking of then? What's your like?
Oh, I mean, those are both solid choices. So there's a couple that spring to mind for me. One of them is Tim Holman. He did a great talk on I forget the title of it, but it was something along the lines of generative art speedrun or something along those lines, where he talked about the building blocks of how you can make generative art. And he's like, okay, with these few principles, you put them together and then you can make all of this stuff. And he demonstrates it in such a way that he just makes you want to go and play with that. And I want to do that as well. And he rattled through in such a rapid fire, entertaining way that, it's really crammed full of things that just make you smile. So,
you've got a great comedic style, Tim. Like I've seen that talk. It's really, really good.
Yes.
Yeah. So I assume that when I post this on YouTube, you are going to go and find links to all of these talks, right? Otherwise, this is just a useless conversation.
Happily. I think I know where I can find all of those.
All right.
Well, I'll do that before. We're talking in an hour or so, right? We're talking at the next stop.
Yes, we are. Well, the next hour. I probably will be walking then.
Yeah.
I'll be between stops.
I'll leave that that'll be my homework between now and then. I'll report back how I've done.
All right then. Well, I'll speak to you in less than an hour.
Awesome. Okay. Well, good luck with the next phase. Cheering you on from here, and I'll catch up with you in a little while.
Cool. See you in a bit.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.